Hi guys, this is Tina. Welcome back to my channel. So we're here today for another one of our 3 in 30, and today we're up to letter P. I know I say this every time, but gosh, I can't believe we're up to letter P already. It's just flying by, isn't it? So I really have struggled to come up with something for P. There were loads of kind of possibles, but some were quite similar to things that we've done before, and yeah, I really struggled. So I settled in the end on paper bags. So I'm just going to move these bits and bobs out of the way. I've got just loads of rubbish here that, you know, I've brought along for the purposes of the project. So just going to take these out of these little bags and things. This is because we'd been away for a couple of nights. So these are my little bags that we'd taken. So, you know, for the half term. Right, now, so what you're going to need if you're wanting to craft along, I have got a couple of paper bags here. I've got this one here from that shop called Zara. What's quite nice about this is it's obviously blue, you know, this navy blue on the outside, and then it's that, you know, craft bag colour on the inside, which is quite nice. And then I have just got, you know, one of those Primark cheap shop bags that we have over here. So I'm just going to use those couple of items, I think, as my basis for my projects. And then obviously, you know, you've all seen my desk now, so you know that I just have an abundance of stuff that I can just pull in and use. But these are my basis for my projects, and I've got my 3-in-1 glue, you know, I like Fabri-Tac, and I've got my tacky glue here, and my scissors, my distress ink, and yeah, anything else really that you just kind of think you might want, laces, yeah, anything at all really. So I haven't got a fixed you know, project in mind or anything. We're just going to play around and see where it takes us. So we're going to aim to do obviously 3 pieces in 30 minutes, and I'm going to set the timer. So let me just put make sure I'm actually in frame. I'm just going to move this across slightly. Okay, so I'm going to try and keep my timer in view for those of people who are, you know, doing it along with me. So ready, get set, craft, let's go. So I'll start, I think, with the blue paper bag. Now, tempting to just do a sort of opening insert, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut the bag off here. This was like a natural sort of fold that it had. So I'm just going to cut that down there. And then let's just have a look and see what kinds of folding shapes that we've got going on here. Because, you know, it might be that we've just got a natural, something natural going on already. So if I just cut this down here, across that piece, I don't obviously want the handles, so I'm going to try and pull them off without tearing through the bag too much. Okay. Going to be really good and just bin them straight away. I'm not going to fold them like I so often do. Trying to be a bit more ruthless. Oh look, now I've torn the bag. A bit more ruthless and actually get rid of things that I just do not need. So that's it, get rid of that. There probably is a fantastic technique that I'm sure probably, you know, lots of people will say in the comments, oh, you could have done this to peel that off, but oh well. I'm just going to have a torn piece in my bag. That's okay. We can either cover it up or maybe it will just look fine anyway, who knows. Right, so this is my blue piece. Right, now I cut this because I just wondered whether, you know, is this going to be like a natural kind of pocket somewhere. So let's just having a look to see what the, you know, what the basic kind of piece looks like. I mean, we could have it like this and it would be like a little side pocket. I think that's quite nice actually. And that wasn't what I had in mind at all when I kind of cut this apart, but I think that's quite nice. And we can obviously quite easily cover up where I have torn the bag. So I'm just going to tear that across there. So the first thing I'm going to do is just glue this down so that it's, whoops, what is going on with my glue? Oh my gosh, what is going on with my glue? Right, so I'm just going to stick this down. It is the most vile day out there today. I mean, you can probably hear all of that rain just, oh, it's just horrible, literally horrible. So I'm going to glue this down here to make a little sort of side loading pocket. And then what I'm going to do, I mean, actually what I could have done, I suppose, was folded that in. But then we have it all navy blue, and that's not really, you know, that's not very nice, is it? So we'll go for this way. It was just that doing it that way, I would have covered up my piece where I tore it, but I don't mind. I don't mind it being there. So there we go. Yeah, you can probably hear it on the Velux window here, but it is just horrible. I mean, I'm looking out, it's really dark and the rain is literally chucking it down, and it's also really windy today. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. Right, so there's my basic piece. Let me just glue here where I've got that tear, like that. Okay, so that's that piece, and then we can just decorate that up. So again, these are just some bits that I kind of, you know, took with me whilst we were away. So we went up to the Lake District. We go up there quite a bit, and yeah, had a really nice time. We were really lucky with the weather. It was really lovely. I mean, it was very cold, but it was dry the whole week, which, I mean, we've been before, you know, in the summer holidays for a holiday and had the most horrible weather. So I think it was probably the nicest weather we've ever had, you know, going up there. So yeah, it was lovely. And my son, my oldest son, he actually had his first lot of annual leave because it has to be used by December, I think it is. So, you know, he was also with us, so that was really nice. So he had his kind of first bit of holiday from work, so that was really good. And we did loads and loads of lovely walks, like, you know, really, really nice walks. We stumbled across a couple of other walks that we hadn't ever done before. I mean, we're really rubbish sightseers. We kind of find something and then we end up going on that same walk every single time. We're not overly great at sort of exploring, but we are, hopefully we're getting a bit better at doing that now. But yeah, we did actually explore a couple of new sort of places for us. So we went to this lovely place called Ingleton Falls. I have been there before myself and the children, but my husband was working, you know, wasn't on annual leave when I took the children before. It's absolutely lovely. It's in the Yorkshire Dales, and I mean, as the name suggests, it's obviously got lots of, you know, waterfalls and what have you there, and oh, it's just beautiful. And what's really nice about it is it kind of goes like through all different terrains. So you've got, obviously, you know, the start of the walk is in the waterfalls and looks really, really nice, and it's quite woody, kind of, you know, tropically. Well, it's not tropical, that's not really quite the thing, but you know, it's very kind of dark, you know, like, because there's trees all overhead and what have you. And then it opens out into this lovely, like, open kind of farm land. Oh, it's just lovely. And yeah, so that that kind of takes up, like, say, I mean, I would say the walk's probably split into like thirds. So the first third is like these waterfalls. Then you've got this bit that's like open kind of farmland across the Yorkshire Dales, which is just the most lovely landscape. And then it goes into like some more bits of waterfalls and then like opens out. Oh, it's just a lovely walk. I mean, you have to pay for it. It's not a free walk. I don't know whether it's a National Trust, but even having to pay for it, there's really nice facilities. I mean, like halfway round, it's got a really nice, well, not a really nice necessarily, but a stop point with is selling hot dogs and ice creams and things like that. So always good to be able to obviously keep your children going with the promise of ice creams. And then, sorry, I'm just playing around here, deciding what to pop here. And then it also has a bit further on, like an ice cream van in the bit that's the open kind of countryside. It's got an ice cream van there. And I assume it's always there because it was there, you know, the first time that we did the walk, and it was there this time. So again, a bit more, you know, persuasion for the children if they're like lagging a little bit. I mean, obviously the boys don't lag really, but my daughter obviously does because she's only 5. So, I mean, she did so brilliantly well on the whole holiday because she did some very, very, very long walks, I have to say. So rewarded her with a McDonald's at the end of the week. So she loves McDonald's. I know it's not really the thing that you're supposed to really obviously give your children these days, but she absolutely loves it. And she had walked a lot over the course of the week, so I think she'd earned it fair and square, really. Yeah, so, but we just really were lucky. I mean, the weather just really made the whole thing just lovely. There we go. And then trying to think what other walks we did. Oh, we climbed this really big, well, I mean, I thought it was really big. Probably, you know, someone who mountain climbs or things like that would probably think it was pathetic, but I think it's called Mount Rydal. It's in the Lake District, and so we kind of climbed up there. That was brilliant. And you know, it's kind of very exhilarating, isn't it, when you do things like that, and it just clears the cobwebs and, you know, takes all your cares away, really. So that was really nice to do. And I mean, it was pretty high, but what made it quite nice was it was all like steps going up rather than actually sorry, I'm just having a look here to see what I'm going to finish this with. It was all steps rather than rugged like hillside or anything, so that was quite good. You know, sort of made it seem a bit safer. And my daughter said, oh, I don't mind the steps. She doesn't mind doing the steps because I think they break it up for her. When she said when she gets tired, she quite likes doing the steps. So that was quite good, really, for her. And the most spectacular views, obviously, once you got to the top. So you were rewarded, you know, once you got up there. So I might just do like a little raffle piece down there, you know. Although, well, let's just have a go and see. So grab my stapler. I'll just staple it because obviously I haven't really got time to do anything else. I have obviously been way too talkative. It's because obviously where we've been away and it's been the half term, I haven't actually done any videos for a week. So I'm obviously a bit out of practice now. Probably starting with the 3 and 30 wasn't the best decision because I'm now obviously not going to reach anywhere near my 3 and 30. What was I thinking? Let's crack on because look, I'm nearly halfway through. I obviously just fancied coming on and having a chat, I think. So Oh well, never mind. So I hope you've all had a really nice week, and well, I hope you're having a nice day. I hope the weather is better where you are, and not this awful, awful weather that we've got here. So I've got those pieces there, and then I like this bird cage, I think, so I'm going to pop that on. Like that. And then should we pop a bit of the blue lace on here on the edge? Looks quite pretty, doesn't it? I quite like that. There we go. And then I might have to just call this quits because, you know, this piece anyway, I don't mean the video, but call this piece quits because otherwise I'm just not going to have anywhere near enough time to do my other two pieces, am I? So let's just cut that piece there. So that's my first piece. I'm just going to pop that to one side, and I'll probably ink that up if there's time. Now my next piece, I'm going to use the buff colour. So again, I'm just going to cut the bag down, you know, where it's got the natural fold. Just because that's a, you know, a good place to start. Actually, I'm not going to, because the piece that I suddenly thought that I'm going to make, I'm going to do a, now I've got glue on there, look. Right. The piece that I thought is actually just a sort of triangular kind of pocket. So I'm going to glue this down because obviously otherwise it's not particularly thick. So let's just glue that. Yeah, I've decided to do it this way around because, you know, using the blue, because we've got the nice contrast then of the blue bag. I do love using paper bags, I have to say. I think they're an awesome thing to have in your craft stash. So that's that. And then I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tear down this edge. Like that, and then I think I'm going to tear across here a bit too, like that, and then when I fold that over, so they're a bit like my slanty pockets really. Actually, I'm just wondering whether I prefer it that way. I quite like it that way, I think, so I'm going to have to go for it like that instead. So I'm just going to glue this down here because, you know, I'm very mindful of the time element here. So we're just going to have that like that. And then I'm going to stick this around to make my pocket. Like that. And then obviously I'm going to cut this around to tidy it up a bit. So we'll just cut that there and there. Okay. So I like how that looks so far. And then again, just go in for some of my bits and pieces that I've got here. So we could have that. That's quite striking, isn't it? And these are just like a load of stamped pieces that I just happen to have. And I thought, oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that, I think. So let me just check whether we want any book page or anything like that just behind it. So a bit of book page. Yep, just breaks that up a little bit. I mean, I don't dislike it plain, but the book page just adds a little something extra. I don't know how much that glue's coming out, to be honest. It's really difficult when you're sat here and the lamp is on and things. You really can't see particularly brilliantly. So, and actually, let me check that I'm in frame because I was so gutted with one of my mass makes recently. It was episode 15. So I just must apologise so much. Apparently I was really out of frame for loads of it, and I'm so sorry, guys. It's so annoying because obviously, you know, you check a few times, but I mean, obviously then you do something else and, you know, you're not checking, and I had not realised I was out of frame. So I am so sorry, and yeah, can only apologise for that. And then obviously if you edit the video, I don't know about other people, but I mean, I don't sit and watch through the whole video because, you know, A, I haven't really got time, and B, you know, I don't want to obviously watch my own videos really. So, you know, I obviously wasn't aware. I obviously, if I do need to edit for any reason, I edit the bits I need to edit, and, you know, I don't necessarily then watch through the whole video, so I'm not necessarily aware if things like that happen and it turns out I'm out of frame. So I really am sorry, and yeah, was really gutted about that. So I know it was obviously frustrating for people who were watching, but if it's any consolation, it was probably even more frustrating for me. So, you know, because obviously when you put your stuff up, you want to, you know, put it up in a decent-ish quality, you know. I mean, maybe not the crafting methods, as we know, but certainly the actual video itself, I mean, you at least want it visible, don't you? So yeah, I really am sorry. And while we're on that subject, another video that went up in silence. So right, let's pop that there. Okay, right, there we go. And then I'm going to pop that Eiffel Tower one down. There we go. Yeah, I think the rain is definitely here for the entire duration. So today it's just horrible. Right, I'm now just going to stick that lace, I think, across there, because that, oh gosh, look what's happened to my fabric glue. Okay. You see, I've got one glue here just not wanting to come out at all, and the other one, wow, it can't come out quick enough. It's dying to just pour out everywhere over every single surface. Yeah, I was just lucky, really, that I happen to have these navy blue bags. They're lovely, aren't they? Now, I was wondering about this crinkly ribbon. Not so sure now. I might use some bling instead. So I'm going to just pop that to one side to dry for a moment. Let's pull in this one now. So I'm tempted to just squeeze the rip in there. Tempted to just make a cluster here because, you know, obviously I'm quite tight on time, and it would be lovely to actually not have to cheat. You know, to actually do one of these 3 and 30s without cheating. That would be just awesome, wouldn't it? So let's just see what we can do. Not being able to read music, I'm never sure, you know, what's the right way up. So unless there's like a little bit of text on there, it's possibly, you know, quite often upside down. I mean, it doesn't bother me because I don't know, obviously, that it is upside down. So to me, it still looks fine. But anyone who knows their stuff is probably kind of thinking, oh my gosh, she's put that completely upside down. Right, let's just using a bit more of that blue paper bag because it's quite nice to have the contrast, isn't it? So I'm going to get gluing. See, I just felt I needed to get a bit of a move on because obviously I waffled on and wasted a lot of time, haven't I? So we'll just pop that there. Let's just pop this piece here. Just there. And do we want that there? Let's just check which piece that we want to have on here. Do we want a stamped piece, or... I mean, I'm just grabbing these because they just happen to be, you know, at hand on my desk. But I mean, of course, you could use anything. You could use book images. In fact, I did bring some book images. Now, what did I do with those? As I said that, I just suddenly thought, oh, I think I did grab some book images to bring with me to do this. No, I can't now find them. Oh, this is where I now will obviously lose all that time that I had gained by just doing a quick cluster. Oh, no, I can't find them, I'm afraid. Honestly, how can you lose things within the space of, like, you know, 3 minutes? Is beyond me. Oh, let me just have a look through. Right, I've no idea where they've gone. Which is a shame, because they would have been perfect colour-wise, because they were pictures of, I think it was Venice, or it could have been Italy generally. Definitely one of the pictures was of Venice, and they would have just been perfect because they had a sort of bluey tinge to them. But still, we will just go for this instead. So just glue this piece down here. I mean, I'm just doing this because it's nice to obviously make use of a bit of the extra bag, so that's why I'm popping the blue on there. And then we've got this piece here. Do we want to pop that onto some lace or anything? Might be a bit of a big bit. Let me just have a look. There we go. So thank you so much to those people who are joining in with the 3 and 30 challenges. I mean, I do realise, and I know I've said this so many times, but of course they're not for everybody, and I do appreciate that. So, but I hope that you enjoy watching them, even if you're not, they're not for you kind of to join in. I do hope that you enjoy watching them because, they're definitely good fun and kind of get you thinking in a completely new way. No time for dilly-dallying, she says, as she's dilly-dallying. So we're just kind of, should we do that? Let's just go for that. And again, I mean, I'm not necessarily wouldn't have necessarily been what I would have chosen to do here, but I'm just conscious of the time element. So I'm going to rough this up. And I'm just going to pop that down there. Again, I'll just use that 3-in-1 glue. Like that. Now, got a little stamped word here saying beautiful. I think I will pop that on. And it's great because it's actually in, I mean, it's not paper bag, but it's in that craft paper bag type colour. So that's just going to look really nice. Should I put that on a bit of lace maybe? Yeah, let's put that onto there. I think we'll have it maybe here. In fact, what I'm going to do is tear this cluster around a bit. That's better for me. Just makes it look a little bit better to the eye, I think. Come on. Just pop that on there. So I'm going to ink this up quickly now before before I stick that word on. So hopefully I won't catch the lace trim too much. Obviously you need to be a bit careful of the lace that I've already glued down, but that's okay. And then just pop that to the side here, like that. Oh, come on, I can see that timer out the corner of my eye. Okay, so that's that one. And again, I mean, we could always pop some bling on there, but what I'm going to do is just ink these couple up whilst I'm here. So we just ink along there. I'm just going to sort of focus on these scraggly edges. I love how they look. Like that. And the fold. And then this one definitely I'm going to have some bling. So I think I'll just have the pearly trim. So just trim that down. I'm going to have it over here because then that just helps cover up that tiny bit of wording. I mean, that wording's not overly visible, but just where you can just see the odd bit. Oops, come on. Let me just pop that down there. That looks nice, doesn't it? Now I'm just wondering, I've got another word beautiful here, so I could actually pop that on somewhere. I'm just cutting it to the side over my carrier bag. Wasn't doing anything exciting. I realised that was out of frame, but it was nothing interesting. So trust me, you didn't miss anything worth, you know, worth seeing. So I'm going to pop that on that blue lace again, and I'm just going to glue that down there. So oh, come on. Oh, the time's really rushing by now. I've got 19 seconds. I mean, luckily I'm pretty much finished with the other one. I just wanted to ink it up. So there we go. Love that, and that's done. Get this one back. Oh my gosh, I've got 5 seconds. Quickly, quickly. Oh. That's it. My time is up. Just quickly do my little paper ruffle down the side. And again, just try and kind of roughen it up here so as it looks a bit more scraggly. Like that. Okay. Stop that. Move that out the way. Let me check whether I'm, oh gosh, I'm in frame. Oh, something's saying low battery here, but I think it's still filming. Right, oh my gosh, look what's going on now. Right, move that to the side. Now where's my pearly bling? I've been thrown now because obviously I've gone into panic mode when I've just seen the low battery message on the phone, thinking, oh my gosh, now the filming is about to stop. So I don't like that. What have I done with my pearly trim? Oh, right. Well, I might have to not add the pearly trim because, you know, I'm gradually just cheating more and more and more. So, right, I'm not going to bother. So let's have a look now at what we've actually kind of achieved. So we've got this little pocket piece here, super pretty. And you've obviously got your pockets here in the side. Looks really nice, doesn't it? We've got this cluster, which obviously you could pop that onto a tag or, you know, however you wanted to use that. And then we've got this pocket here, which is probably my personal favourite. And again, you've got your pocket there like that. So let me just see whether I've got anything I could pull in like a page to show you how that would look. Oh, no. No, I don't think I have at the minute. Oh. Definitely out of practice now from not doing videos for a week. It's amazing how quickly you get out of it. So, right. Apologies for that, with no page or anything to be able to show you how they look, but hopefully, you know, you can see enough. So, That's your pieces made with paper bags. Hope that you enjoyed them. If you joined in, hope you had a good time and made some nice pieces too. Thanks very much for watching, and hopefully see you all again soon. Thanks then. Bye.